all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
From beautiful Saline in southeastern Michigan.
Around the world at sunsky.mysteries.com.
This is the 2009 Top 10 Webcam in the World winner. This is SETV.
This message is transmitted at the request of the United States Office of Civil Defense. At 3:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, NORAD detected a long-range nuclear missile launch in North Korea. This missile is believed to be headed in the direction of the Los Angeles metropolitan area. It is believed that it will impact this area within the next 1.5 to 2 hours. All residents within a 400-mile radius of this area should seek a fallout shelter immediately.
The only real effect I can have is to create the impression that things aren't as bad as they are. To give our people time, the opportunity to survive.
I guess I just never realized I'd gone so far. We'd lost so much control.
Totalitarianism doesn't need armies. It only needs to control a couple of things. The media and the ability to dispense privilege to some and withhold it from others. And of course, a weak and divided people helps.
Well, good evening, everybody. Bill Zam here. Welcome to a test show. We're going to do a full-blown show tomorrow night. It would be July 19th, 2012. But tonight we're coming back from our summer vacation, and we are testing all of these servers and everything to make sure that everything works so that I won't be tragically embarrassed tomorrow night and you won't have to hear our failure music. Which goes something like that. Now, we haven't been on the air in about a month. I decided to take a month off just to gather my wits, see what it's like not to work like 20 hours a day doing my regular work and then running the broadcast facilities at night, because this takes more than 5 minutes a day, believe it or not. Now, we have had several interesting events that have happened in the past month that deal with things politically, as well as some things that deal with our gloom and doom venue here on the show. And we are going to cover those tomorrow night. I will bring you up to speed on something that we are in fact going to cover tomorrow night, and as soon as it comes up on the other screen here, we will. Okay, there we go. Let me switch over to this screen. There we are. You probably can't see that. Let me bring that in a little bit closer and come down here, and then come over here. We have, in fact, covered this before. This is a PDF file that I created this PDF file out of a series of documents that I was able to locate online. I do not know who the original creator of these documents were. It is called A Boeing Whistleblower's Warning: Will a Massive Celestial System Change Our Solar System? There have been some very interesting developments. If you recall, those of you that watch the show on a regular basis, we covered this sometime in the beginning of June. There have been some developments in regarding this particular document and some things that are going on. I have received some communications from people who have to remain nameless, and that is strictly confidential. That has to do with what Boris Artemenko and I have discussed on the show before. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. You're going to have to go and look at the past shows. And since this is working, we're not dropping any frames. Everything is broadcasting A-OK. The show should be recording just fine, and it appears that everything is working sufficiently. Let me check the video server. For those of you that are inclined to wonder about that sort of thing, we are running at 40% overclocked on the speed while the cooling fans are working. We have our PCIe bus at 30% overclocked, and we are running our video chips at the stock rate, not overclocked at all. We currently have a 60% load on the CPU. When we first started doing the show, before I started realizing that we had to overclock things in order to get everything to work correctly, to get the frequencies and everything sped up on the computer to match the camera and the outputs and everything, we were typically running at about 100% CPU load. We are now running about half of that, around 62%. Some of that's the overhead on broadcasting the screen. And that's about it for tonight. I was going to discuss our what our dear leader said the other day that has got everybody up in arms, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. There are a whole bunch of hard-working people out there. If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help. There was a great teacher somewhere in your life. Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we had that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, that you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
So obviously everybody's up in arms about that because, quite frankly, we don't like being insulted by two-bit asses here in the United States, especially unqualified asses that have never, ever actually had a real job. Now, a couple of things that he said in that particular clip grind me unbelievably. But I'm not going to talk about them tonight. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow night. Because we're going to talk about people that help other people along the way, like a teacher or a mentor. And there's mentors that I have had. My mentors include a gentleman by the name of Peter Fletcher. This guy is literally a genius level person. When I was publishing my newspaper, I used to attend his weekly meetings in downtown Ypsilanti, Michigan, named after General Demetrius Ypsilanti, the Greek general. He taught me more than I would care to know, actually, about politics and things. I had another mentor. His name is Ernie Letts. He was one of the regents at the University of Michigan. He taught me how this great economy works, or lack of economy, and how these ass clowns in Washington, D.C. actually come up with their lack of budgets. And some of my other mentors would include Ann Antel. If you're a Jeopardy fan, you probably remember her stint on the show. A gentleman by the name of Stuart Daniel Wilson of Eastman Kodak fame. If you're a photographer and you have ever handled the old books that Kodak used to put out with all the samples of their photography paper, and each one had a different image on it, Stu Wilson took all of those. He did that for George Eastman personally. He was one of my mentors. I had a lot of mentors. They were highly intelligent. And other people have had mentors. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. Things that, give them their worldview, like it gave me my worldview. Things that people say, their philosophy, what political affiliations they have, and how they shaped somebody's life. And apparently, they're utilizing that now. And incidentally, by the way, dear leader, Obama, the chief ass clown over there in Washington, D.C., our broadcast facility right here, this particular business, we are on a private street. We paid to have that paved ourselves. We paid to have this building built. Nobody did that for us. So, you know what? If you guys think that we had nothing to do with this, guess what? You guys can get your asses here from Washington, D.C. and do the show yourself, okay? Fine. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. In the meantime, somebody who has knows all about everything, and, because we didn't build any of this, we didn't do any of this ourselves, somebody else did it because somebody else did this and somebody else did that first. Well, you know what? You can get your asses out here right now, and you can finish the show, because I'm done. This is officially the Barack Obama show now. See you tomorrow night. We'll see if anybody shows up to actually complete the show.